Everyone sees you as they believe you are in their parameters, in their life, in their existence. To some, you're on a pedestal, and to others, they take you out with the trash. Not your business. How others perceive what you're doing, it's your business to stay your authentic path. And either way, even if you're repelling or repulsing people, you're still forcing them to an awareness. So we're helpers. We want to help everybody. So we want everybody to like us because we're helpers. Sometimes we help people by being the sandpaper that rubs them ugly, because you got to get real ugly sometimes to get true. So mind your business about how you're helping people. Mind your business about what other people think, and just do you in the best authentic version of you that you can right now, with what you know, with who you are, with how you're living your life.
Welcome to Authentic Conversations.
Hey. All right, I want to read this. Ready?
Ready.
Most people aren't jealous of the things you have or even the way you look. It's always the energy, your aura, your electricity, the vibe you emit. It shakes them up and awakens the dominant frequencies that remind them that they can be better but choose not to. You shake them up. Keep doing it. So most people aren't jealous of the things you have or even the way you look. It's always the energy. People don't even know how you look. They know how they feel when they're around you. That's how they identify with you. It's your aura, your electricity, the vibe you emit. It shakes them up and it awakens the dormant frequencies, right? The energy within them that they have suppressed. And it reminds them that they can do better and that they're choosing not to. Because we are all untapped, unlimited potential, and we're all energy. And how we exchange our energy, what we give and what we receive, dictates our life. It attracts and repels people. It creates opportunities and closes doors. Right? We talk about like, hey, it's your vibe. That doesn't mean it's good. It's just your vibe, right? It's not about being good or bad. It's about a point of attraction. Your energy is a point of attraction. And for some people, they're not attracted to it because it reminds them of their inadequacy in this moment, their inability to become unstuck, right? We just had a whole yoga class about becoming unstuck. So when you're not stuck and you're free to move about the country and you're free to move about your life and you're free to move about, your business and whatever it is, some people have a hard time with that. So they get angry and frustrated with you, but it's not really you they're angry and frustrated with, it's themselves. It's what you represent to them that they're angry and frustrated with. This is why Don Miguel Ruiz says, don't take it personally. I mean, this is exactly why Don Miguel Ruiz says, don't take it personally. It's not personal. It's their reflection on you of what they're either not doing or not creating or not allowing or not, pushing through to become their next best version of themselves. So for some people, you'll inspire them and they'll see you and they'll want to step into whatever's next, or they're, willing to take the risks or, do the things that make sense to them because they're inspired by you. But for others, you'll be a trigger. And we don't know who we're going to affect in what sort of way. So we mind our own business and we stay true to who we are. We don't ride the roller coaster of meeting people's emotional needs at the expense of our own. Don't ride the emotional roller coaster of meeting people's needs at the expense of our own. There'll always be drama about it. You'll always get, they'll be trying to suck you in. They'll be creating stories about it and about you, but those stories have zero bearing on your life unless you choose to allow those stories to become a part of your existence. Otherwise, they're just someone else's version of you. I gotta breathe. Hold on. So otherwise, it's someone else's version of you, and everyone has a version of you, right? We talked about this before. Like, everyone sees you as they believe you are in their parameters, in their life, in their existence. To some, you're on a pedestal, and to others, they take you out with the trash. Not your business how others perceive what you're doing. It's your business to stay your authentic path. And either way, even if you're repelling or repulsing people, right? You're still forcing them to an awareness, right? So we're helpers. We want to help everybody. So we want everybody to like us because we're helpers. That's not it. That's not it. Sometimes we help people by being the sandpaper that rubs them ugly. Because you got to get real ugly sometimes to get true. So mind your business about how you're helping people. Mind your business about what other people think, and just do you in the best authentic version of you that you can right now, with what you know, with who you are, with how you're living your life.
So for our audience out there, yes, guys, she's talking about me.
What,
I
you're
got this message
speechless?
twice in one day, okay?
Are you
Twice I
having
got this
trouble with your
message.
throat chakra?
Yeah. Um, for us empaths who love to help, and we have to work on our boundaries. So one thing that I remember going through a hard time where a lot of this was happening in my life, where I felt like those energy vampires were coming in, and those that were who loved me and our side outside of my life could be like, don't you see that she's using you? Don't you see
You
this?
were allowing it. You were
Right.
allowing it.
But my biggest fear, and for those of us who are sitting in this situation, was that I didn't want to change, which you mentioned. Don't change who you are, because I felt that in a way was, I know that that's who I am, and I know that I bring this light and this energy into the space. What I
For
had to learn,
for those who are willing and open to receive it from you.
right, correct. What I had to learn in that process, and this is what I would love to the message to be, is that you can protect your energy and yourself and set the boundaries. Does not change you who you are. You will still be the loving person. You will still be the helper, but you will have the power in you to choose who you're going to say yes to and who you will say no to.
And when. And
And when.
and you'll be a healthier helper. You'll be a healthier version of yourself, because we deplete ourselves by trying to be all to everyone. And some people are ready for what it is that you have to offer, and others are opportunists taking advantage of what you have to offer. And discernment, great word, discernment, right? Figuring out which is which requires stepping outside of the emotional attachment and looking at the facts as you know them, right?
Yeah. So the emotional attachments for me was taking everything personal, thinking it was always me. I caused the drama. I'm not a good friend. I was a good helper. Then I stopped being a good helper in their world. What did I do wrong? Instead of backing up and saying, this is who I am.
And wait, hold on a minute. Look, I did all of these things, and what did I get in return? We talk about balance and the exchange of energy. I mean, we keep going back to universal laws, like that is all there is, right? But balance, the exchange of energy, right? It's an exchange. And if it's not feeding you, if it's depleting you, then you got to pay attention to that, because if you're not getting a return on your investment of time, of energy, financial, whatever it is, then it's imbalanced. And if something is imbalanced, it's dysregulated, right? It's misaligned, and then it tends to be chaotic or create more suffering than necessary, right? So when we figure out what's misaligned or what's out of balance, what's happening with my energy? Why am I depleted? I'm untapped, unlimited energy. Why am I depleted all the time? Because what are you doing to refuel or refill? Or what are you getting back energetically from some of these relationships? If something is a real time suckage, but while you're there, you're not being refueled, then you're just putting empty on top of empty. And refueled starts with a perspective in your head. Instead of looking at what this is taking from me, can I just step back and notice what this is gifting me? Because we can do the same thing with a different mindset and be offered different energetic results. I know it's a grind to get up and go to work every day. I did it for a long time, you know? But if I told myself while I was there that this was a grind, getting up and going to work every day, and that it was sucking the life out of me, then guess what it was doing? It was sucking the life out of me. If I told myself that I had an opportunity to have exchanges that were deep and meaningful, and that there was purpose, or that, that it was teaching me something, or that it was showing me something, then that would be where I would replenish, in the knowing that there was a, short or long-term kind of return on my investment. Done lots of things in my life that have been super uncomfortable and, physically exhausting, emotionally exhausting, but knowing that in the long term, I could see where this would benefit me, I could refuel on that.
I remember when I read it the first time and the video came to me, and the question was, do you believe what this person is saying? Because somebody else phrased it. I sent you the video.
Mhm.
And I was sort of like defensive. And then I was very like, no, like, if you're good energy and you walk in a room and you have good energy, you're going to attract good energy.
And repel people who don't want your good energy, because your good energy represents, they want to stay in the negative. They want to stay stuck where they are. They want to stay in the drama. They want to, and that's okay, because we've all done that. You know what I mean? We've all partaken in that. We've all found ourselves in a place where we're attracting, more darkness than light.
Right.
And that's okay, because we have to go there in order to grow through it, right? You can't just skirt around it or pass over it. You have to grow through it. So, if your energy is too much for them because they're not ready to move through it yet, you're at least helping them see that there is another side. They may not like it or what you represent in that moment, but it's still, you don't change who you are to meet their energetic level.
So we go back to not your business.
Mind your business, stay in your lane. It's not yours what other people think, say, or do. It's only
It's not for
yours
you to
how to
fix.
respond. Oh, fix. Not yours. Is this mine? Is this mine? What part of this is mine? We've
Right.
had that before, right? What part of this is mine? And then, there's always a part that's mine. So yeah, you could look for reflection and clarity. You could also just be aware that you are triggering someone just by simply being you, and that's okay. That doesn't mean, that doesn't mean that you get uncomfortable and start to trip over things.
And the energy is so strong sometimes, guys, when you're dealing with this. And you have to just say, okay, is this triggering me because I'm allowing it to, or is there something I need to look into myself too? Like, why is it that this person is triggering me? Because it can be vice versa.
Yeah.
It's like a mirror reflecting. So we are all bouncing each other's energy. And sometimes people come into our life, whether it's in our work, our boss, colleagues, where simple things of everyday, I mean, guys, we spend so much time with our colleagues than more than our family sometimes. And they're everyone is placed in your environment for a reason. We're all each other's lessons. We're
Well,
all connected.
yeah, and we're all human, and we have to remember that. Like, just because you're being triggered by someone, we talked about customer service the other day. Like, just because you're being triggered by someone doesn't make them less human. It's your trigger, you
Mhm.
know?
Right. So it's on the other side too. So sometimes it is you. You know, the other day I was being triggered by the conversation I was having with this person. I could tell that, I was uncomfortable because I'm not really mentally prepared to have this conversation about the situation that's happening. And a colleague of mine was there. And he wasn't going to really do much, but I made eye contact with him and I said, just can you stay for a second? And he stayed there. And then I used,
Energetic support. Energetic
right.
support.
So
Yeah.
I sort of was like, put my hand on my head and I kept listening. And then I calmed myself down and I kept saying, this is not personal. You got to let it go. This is business. These are the rules that they've been told to you. And this is what you have to say and say it and call it a day. And then after a minute, by having him be there, I was okay to ground myself. And then I said, it's okay, you can go. Um, and I didn't know what was happening at that moment. It just happened really fast. And when he left and I later on thought about it, I was like, wow, I needed that support. And when he came back later on, he said, are you okay? And I said, yeah, thank you so much for just hanging around for a hot second. I just needed to kind of like look at you and know that what I was saying was okay. And, we talked about it and he said, yeah, we really need to keep working on this because it's going to be hard on you guys. It's not a fun thing that we're doing right now. And
Right.
we're humans.
Right. But it's temporary and you're passing through it and you got to feel your way through it. And that's how it is. And look at all of the awarenesses, like the hidden gems, the hidden diamonds in the coal mines, it's like the hidden gems that come out when you take the perspective of, if you take the perspective of, oh God, here we go again, and I got to show up and get, my ass kicked. And you know what I mean? Or you say like, wow, today I'm going to be a little stronger than I was yesterday and maybe I'm going to see things a little more clearly, and that's the idea of how are you refueling yourself. So it's all about a paradigm shift in your head. It's about what you're telling yourself about the experience that depletes you or fuels you.
So again, go, what are you doing on your days off? How are you spending your energy? How do you decompress on the way home so that the new character that you have to put on, whether it's being a girlfriend, being a partner to somebody, being a mother to somebody or father, you don't carry this stuff that you just came from and bringing it in without knowing and then bringing that energy into the household and all of a sudden the house is chaos because you just came from chaos. So
You know what I love? Here's what I love. So I love the vision of using doorways as portals.
mm,
So I use this sometimes with the teams, like, entering the gym or walking out on the field, like, there's a gate or a doorway that's a portal. And when you step through that, it's like a cleanse, right? It's like a fresh wash. And everything that needs to stay where it is stays where it is, and you get to bring your new best version, so entering the home is like, entering the home portal. You can feel it in your heart. It's like, use the idea of, the car ride, the doorway, whatever it is, to shed, to release, to find relief, so that you can have a fresh start at the next location. So I've used it with students, as you're entering a classroom, right? You don't bring the stuff from the hallway or bring the stuff from the last class. It's like the portal, it just washes, it washes things away. So there's something just very cleansing about walking through into the next aspect of your journey.
I love it. Thank you so much, Susan. Thank you guys for joining us again today. So we're going to walk through, just like the moon comes out, there's always a new moon. It resets, the sun resets. We're
Yeah.
going to reset. Sometimes we have to reset
Several
every
times
hour.
a day. Several times a day. Yeah. 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 But, think about the portal, think about the energy shift, you're in charge of it. And if you have a physical if you have a physical frame of reference, that helps. That helps. Thank you.
See you soon.
Bye.